raging there right now, why it's happening, why it's so stupid and senseless, by the way. We can discuss, evacuation of nationals of other countries. Some other countries are doing that. I believe South Korea has started doing that already. I read earlier that the Nigerian government is pondering that as well. However, the focus of the conversation at this time is why? Why are over 1,200 Nigerian students going to study anything at all in Sudan? When I saw the story earlier on today, and I saw the headline from the Punch newspaper, Sudan conflict, 1,262 Nigerian students demand evacuation. I couldn't help but think why, or I couldn't help but ask myself, why are over 1,000 Nigerian students going to study in Sudan? I couldn't help but ask myself that. Why? What's reason could there possibly be for that? And a number of factors caused me to ask this question. As far as nations' economies in Africa is concerned, Sudan is, I don't know. Sudan is okay, to think of it this way. As far as economies are concerned, GDP is a good value, a good indicator to analyze or study economies of nations. Now, as far as the African continent is concerned, and this is from last year's figures, Nigeria, and possibly a lot of it remains the same even till now, Nigeria scored the highest GDP in Africa, with amounting to about 16.87% of the continent's figures, followed by Egypt with 15.70%, followed by South Africa with 13.77%, followed by Algeria with 6.26%, with Morocco's 4.78%, Angola 4.18%, Kenya 3.84%, Ethiopia 3.72%, Tanzania 2.56%, Ghana 2.57%. Other countries in Africa have share the remaining 25.78%, and Sudan is one of the other countries. As a matter of fact, on the list, Sudan is at number 16 out of 54 countries considered. Number 16, that's where Sudan is, with a nominal GDP of $42 billion, while Nigeria's nominal GDP stands at $504 billion. Nigeria's per capita, as of last year, is $2,326. And Sudan's per capita, as of last year, was $916. Now, the university where from the story from Premium Times, which I read just a while ago, the university where Miss Yusuf is studying, that's the Sudan International University in Khartoum. As far as world rankings of universities are concerned, this university, once again, that's the Sudan International University. Just a moment. It's ranked somewhere around. It's over 11,000 on the world rankings. Over 11,000 something in the world rankings. The Sudan International University, Khartoum, one of the best universities in Sudan, and that's the National University Sudan. I believe that's what it's called. The National University Sudan. It's ranked somewhere between 10,000 and it's ranked between about 11,000 as well. That's one of the best universities in Sudan. The National University of Sudan is ranked about 11,000 in the world. The Sudan International University is also ranked about 11,000 in the world as well, 11,000 plus. The University of Ibadan in Nigeria is ranked, depends on which ranking you're looking at, but is ranked about 1,000 in the world, somewhere between 500 and just over 1,000. Let's just say 1,000. The University of Ibadan in Nigeria is ranked just about 1,000 in the world. University of Lagos, which is ranked second in Nigeria, is ranked about 1,000 as well. Compared to universities, and we have other universities in Nigeria, several others, both publicly owned state-run universities and privately run universities that rank that I mean, maybe worldwide they don't have the best rankings, but they are by far, they are ranked way higher than any university in Sudan. The best university in Sudan, like I said, is ranked somewhere around 10,000 in the world. This particular university, where they are, Sudan International University, some of these students, Miss Yusuf, who's a medical student over there, is ranked 11,000 plus in the world. So it got me thinking, Sudan doesn't have one of the best economies in Africa, far from Nigeria, in fact. The level of tertiary education over there, based on world rankings of universities, doesn't come close to any university in Nigeria. It's a far cry. So it got me thinking once again, why do you suppose we have over 1,200 Nigerian students studying anything in Sudan? Studying medicine, for example. Medicine in Sudan. I mean, as bad as the medical sector might be in Nigeria, we have a country that we have the British government, we have the Canadian government, the American government, we have Saudi Arabia, other countries of the world in Asia coming to Nigeria to plunder, to take our doctors, our nurses, and yet they leave Nigeria to go study medicine, some of them that is, in Sudan. And some of them are obviously studying other courses in Sudan. So once again, I'm thinking, and I'm asking you, help me out here. Why would over 1,200 students, Nigerian students, go to Sudan to study anything? The line's open. Call 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003 or 0007. We are live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Also on Twitter and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. Hello, Hot Factor, welcome. Please go on.
Hello, good evening, Dale.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's from Port Harcourt. Yeah, looking at the whole of the statistics we've been able to reach and all the figures, there is no doubt about them. But the problem we have in this country is about, if you talk about the ranking of the universities, they are simply or can easily be falsified. We know when NUT usually go to universities to actually give accreditation to Nigerian universities, we know how they do this thing. Practically in the labs, there will be nothing. But the week at which these guys are about to come, they will go and hire and put them there.
No. This is the rankings that I relied on, that I considered in the data I read out a while, were not NUC's rankings. NUC does not rank universities globally. NUC might rank universities in Nigeria. They might do that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at the ones we have, at least the in the African region, which is like, okay, let me just go with you, even with the global setting. There are still sharp malpractice that we do here, that even those who are coming to carry out that particular investigations can naturally be confused about the rankings.
Okay, so are you are you suggesting that those universities in Sudan are better than our universities here? That's why they go there. Is that the point you're making?
It's not far-fetched, sir. It's very possible that they are better. Very, very possible. What does it take to make a university better than your own in terms of ranking? Just as I was trying to paint to you. Just go get the gadgets, get the materials, get the laboratory equipment, get all of them, and claim that you have them when they are coming to check on you. They won't come and tell you this particular machine is coming from this university or it was hired. They won't know that. But once these persons are out, they send these materials back, and you have your ranking. You have your first positions. You have your second positions. So that's just my take. Then talking about the economy aspect of it, we've always heard that Nigeria has a better per capita income in terms of when compared to the life of South Africa. But can you compare the life of an average South African to that of Nigeria?
No, the figures may not translate into a better life for citizens, but there is no doubt.
Why is that so, sir?
No, that has to do with management of the resources, but it doesn't question the existence of those resources. Those are two different things.
So which means reality is actually different from what we have in theory. Therefore, Nigerians are going for the practicals.
No.
The real thing that are actually translating to the reality. That is what we're going for. We can't continue with the theory and the things that are written on the books. Meanwhile, the reality is actually heading on us. If you go to Sudan, go to South Africa, go to Egypt, you can't compare the way they live life there compared to the way we are suffering.
No. I get Egypt. I get Egypt. I get South Africa. If you check world rankings, very likely, in fact, definitely, universities in Egypt and South Africa are ranked way higher than so we could hold on. No. So let's go back to universities now. So we couldn't rig it. To borrow, I believe that's what you were suggesting earlier. So we couldn't rig our universities to be ranked higher than Egyptian or South African universities. Why couldn't we do that?
We couldn't do it because.
But we could rig it to be higher than Sudan.
Of course, it is very possible.
Okay, I have to move on now. They're good to hear from you. Hello, Hot Factor, welcome. Hello. Hi, go ahead.
My name is Caleb from Oregon.
Go ahead. Hello. Uh, 91.3, welcome.
Good afternoon, Dayo.
Yeah, please go on.
Okay, Chugu Michael, I'm calling from Unibu. Dayo, I want to disagree with your first caller. You know, since that their war started, I've been seeing pictures, I've been seeing videos of their country in right here on Al Jazeera. But Dayo, to be honest with you, I don't see anything that any Nigerian want to study, and you will choose Sudan over Nigeria. Dayo, if somebody wants to go to maybe South Africa or maybe Egypt, you can actually see reason. But not Sudan, man, not Sudan.
So why do we have over 1,200 students in Sudan? Even going as far as Sudan to study medicine.
For me, I think some of them just want to leave the country just for living sake. You know, some of them don't really know even what they want at all. They don't know what they want, and some of them, I think maybe they just use such places as a transit area, maybe to Europe. But for anybody to really, really want to study anything and you choose Sudan over Nigeria. Come on, have you seen pictures of that place? That place looks so modern. There's no development at all to compare Nigeria. I know we have a lot of problems here in Nigeria, but not Sudan, man. Not Sudan.
So for you, it's just a transit route, more or less. All right, transit route, right. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Dayo.
Yeah, please go on.
Yeah. I actually want to agree with your second caller and disagree strictly with your first caller. I know Nigerians travel a whole lot, and there's actually no part of this country where you not see a Nigerian for different reasons, economic, education, and all that. So for many reasons, you could have people in the worst of countries, such as in the case that we have now, where you have people going to Sudan to study courses such as medicine, because everybody knows Sudan is not ranked anywhere in terms of medical sciences and all of that. So for whatever reasons you have students there studying them, is something they might need to explain. Then another thing that I'm very concerned about is this. There seems to be this kind of belief by so many Nigerians that Nigeria is just the worst place on earth for everything. I could listen to your first caller how he was trying so hard to convince you that the report that we have better universities than Sudan was rigged. So if anybody comes now and tells him that Sudan is better than us in terms of standard of living and all of that, he can easily jump to it.
I guess
and if he gives opportunity to travel to Sudan, he might jump at it.
Sorry, that's too much. That's too much I can take from you. Pardon me. I've got a commercial break coming up now. Discussions continue right after. Do please stay with us.
International.
Welcome back to Hot Factor Nigeria Info and Hearing Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 29 minutes to go before 5 o'clock. Discussions continue. You're welcome to join in. Right, welcome back, Parliament. Let's see. So the matter being discussed at the moment. Here is the story once again. Let's start with the caption from the Punch newspaper, talking about over 1,200 Nigerian students reported to be trapped in Sudan at the moment. Sudan conflict, 1,262 Nigerian students demand evacuation, 330 residents killed. And the version of the story from Premium Times has a similar headline: Sudan fighting, trapped Nigerian students call for help. Let's see. Nigerian students have appealed to the Nigerian government to evacuate them from Sudan, where fighting between the military and a paramilitary force has killed hundreds of people. The Nigerian students said they're stranded with no access to basic needs. And part of the statement goes, we from the IUA and the students that live around IUA experienced the worst day of their lives, and this is because the RSF base is right behind the male and female hostels, and most of the attacks that were launched were on us. For 3 days and nights we have witnessed this rough scenario. That's one of the officials of the Nigerian Student Association in Sudan. So once again, by the way, the Nigerian government, federal government through the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission had early Thursday said it received a letter from the Students Association. NITCOM in a statement signed by Grebe Odu assured that the National Emergency Management Agency was consulting with the Nigerian mission in Sudan and other relevant agencies. It urged all Nigerian students in Sudan as well as Nigerians living in the country to be security conscious and calm. So I do hope that Nigerians in Sudan are safe, whether students or not. And I hope that the conflict in Sudan is resolved. It's another senseless situation, as similar with many other senseless situations played out and still playing out in Africa. So I hope something happens and the situation is resolved. And I hope for the safety of Nigerians over there as well. And I hope that the Nigerian government will be proactive in evacuating Nigerians that are stranded in Sudan at the moment. And we can have a conversation about that some other time. But for the moment, what I'm wondering is, as I asked earlier on, why do we have over 1,200 Nigerian students studying anything in Sudan, even studying medicine in Sudan as well? And from some data I reeled out at the start of this conversation, as far as economy is concerned, GDP, Nigeria is said to have the highest in Africa at the moment. Sudan is a distant. What's that number again? Is it 15 or 16 or something of that nature? Yeah, 16. Nigeria has a nominal GDP of $504 billion. Sudan has a nominal GDP of $42 billion. Nigeria has a per capita of $2,326. Sudan has a per capita of $916. I mean, economy-wise, Sudan is not comparable to Nigeria. Even as far as the universities are concerned, these universities that they're in, and even one of the best universities in Sudan, are ranked about 11,000 or thereabouts in the world. We have universities in Nigeria that rank about 1,000. I checked just a while ago when I was having a conversation earlier on with a caller who was suggesting that those figures are rigged. Well, University of Pretoria in South Africa is ranked about 452 or about 500 in the world. It's about, about 500 in the world, about between 400 and 500 in the world, depends on which ranking you're looking at. So I saw a world ranking that put Nigeria University of Ibadan, just between 500 and 1,000 in the world. You have another one that puts it at about 1,000, University of Lagos as well. So whichever ranking you're looking at, and there are different rankings, by the way, Nigerian universities are obviously very much, highly ranked compared to universities in Sudan. So economy-wise, Nigeria is way higher. Rankings of universities, Sudanese universities don't come close at all. So why do we have over 1,200 Nigerian students studying in Sudan? The line's open. Call 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome. Please go on. Also join the conversation via facebook.com/Nigerians for PH. I will get to your comment in a moment. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Yeah. When I woke up to the...
Okay, apologize. The connection is poor. You may have to call back in later. 92.3.
Hello there, good evening.
Hello, go ahead.
Nathaniel, I think the political class in Nigeria just made it very possible for anybody in Nigeria to just paint the fact that once you leave the shores of Nigeria, the other side of it is quite excellent and it's very good. And that is one of the reasons we'll just see that twice Nigerians will just move to a place you just mentioned, Sudan, but without even considering some other factors. But some other factors I may really consider to be economy. Some might be doing business in Sudan. Maybe their parents are doing some business in Sudan and such. Most of them will have their children maybe very close to them and then go to school in Sudan. So it's just that some may not be going to Sudan to school just because it's far better than Nigeria or it's better than Nigeria, but could be because of some of these factors I mentioned. Maybe some doing business in Sudan and some other factors in that. Thank you.
On Facebook, let's see, Jim Boburai Caribou Nelson goes, it's common knowledge why they go to North African states of Republic of Sudan to study. Simple expansionist approach by the government in Khartoum for spheres of influence in Nigeria and elsewhere around the continent with Islamist educational approach. Well, if it was an expansionist agenda, why not send... our students going there to study for free then? Do you have any extra information to suggest to expansionist theory? Also via Facebook, Mpoy Kanke Duaka girls, they just want to be able to brag that they study abroad. And in Nigeria, if your CV shows that you got your degree in some abroad university, even if it's in Afghanistan, people employing you will believe that in Afghanistan university where women are banned in class are better than here. It's a colonial mentality. All right. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, go on.
Okay. I did connect my call back from away.
Go ahead.
So the last point you mentioned, the last message you read, if you go for an interview and your degree is outside Nigeria, they don't care how you get that place. As long as it's outside the shore of Nigeria, they are ranking you high. So it's a very big problem. Then secondly, I know in university why this commission were coming for accreditation. They went to other departments to borrow guitar, vendor caliber. Whatever they put for accreditation, they go and borrow everything that they don't have. So they can pass that accreditation. It's not easy. So it's a very big problem in Nigeria.
All right. Also, some other messages over here. Don't forget this thing. Some Nigerians don't value what they have here. They feel it is a flex to relocate anywhere. I know someone studying in Ethiopia, and I'm like, why? If you're going to study, in my opinion, and you don't live in Africa, it's better you just stay in Nigeria. Apart from strike, we're better than other African countries, no lie. Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Good day. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, I'm calling from Nekar Muswan. Yeah, Nigeria is studying in Sudan. I think two things are involved. One is our admission process. I believe that students higher university in
Hello?
we find out that, we find out the JAMB, you will write JAMB. After writing JAMB, you pay that money, you pay money for aptitude test. Maybe at the end of the day, you will not be admitted. Maybe you will take this process 1 or 2, 3, 4 years. So you find out other universities abroad, outside this Nigeria. With your WAEC, you will be admitted. And before you know, you graduated. So that is why Nigerians are going where they will find admission easy. So Nigeria, we need to revisit our admission process. It's only 40% that are admitted in Nigeria. 60% will go home in each year. So this thing needs to be revisited so that our students will not be going such low African countries to go and look for admission.
More messages. It hits me directly on my spine to hear that such humongous numbers of Nigerian students are schooling in Sudan. Are they studying war or gun technology? Nigeria must do everything to evacuate these kids back home, as we have all it takes to afford our children good education, provided our national leadership is made right. That's from our Guts Power Igwe. Good afternoon. Getting into UK or USA from Sudan is easier than from Nigeria because of the way Nigerians are seen outside. If you do 2 years in Sudan, it will be easy to travel to USA or UK. It's cheaper. Here now, Chort sent that in. All right. Most of them just want to impress us in a bid to claim they studied abroad. Funny indeed. All right. They just want to bear the name. I schooled outside of Nigeria. Besides, Nigeria's extra value placed extra value on any certificate from anywhere outside the shores of Nigeria. That's from Cliff. All right. If the students are mostly from the northern extraction, then they must have decided to study in Sudan, where I think schools are much more Sharia friendly. My thoughts, and that's from a Joe. All right. The Jackpot syndrome is real. Many Nigerians believe anywhere except Nigeria is greener. Our leaders have to sit up and change the narrative. That's from Lucky. Hello, most of these students are people heading to Europe via the desert. Miller Barry said that. Without sounding prejudicial, the students who go to college in Sudan are from a particular demographic part of Nigeria, hence the choice is second. I know a friend who schools in Khartoum, and she told me all classes and dormitories are air-conditioned and teacher-to-student ratio is quite small. The reasons may be subjective. Really, Nigerian students go as far as Kampala for college education. All right. 70% of Nigerian students in Sudan are on scholarship. I can tell you that for free. My younger sister had the opportunity to school there, but the challenge was we refused to change her name and religion to Islam. It's also an easy route to Saudi Arabia and Oman, which happened to be our plan. But our fears was we might lose her, so we turned the offer down, and that's from Uche. But often not because those students want to study, but for boasting rights. My son is studying abroad. I have friends who studied in one of these neighboring countries and they came back with nothing. They told me they were not reading. I asked them how they passed their exams. They briefed me and it wowed me. People should stop bad-mouthing Nigeria. People talk, say, if you call your house ugly, God will set it ablaze. That's from Ubong. The students in Sudan are living abroad. When they visit home, you see them speak American slangs. That's from Charles. Okay, Charles. Line still open, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003 or 0007. Good afternoon, Dar. The answer is Jakba. Anything but Nigeria is allowed. Over there, they are sure of completing their program on schedule. Probably no sorting of lecturers, etc. That's from Anthony. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, calling. My name is Vita. I'm calling from Eneka.
Go ahead.
Yeah, on the better part, I believe the 1,200 Nigerian students went to Sudan to study. Is that they just went to Japan? Let's tell ourselves the truth. That's the route to Japan. Sudan is a desert nation, and our youth use that route to Japan. That's just the truth.
Okay. I cannot stop over to sleep just for a night in Sudan if I'm on the journey. Talk more of schooling in Sudan. That's from Aminu. So Aminu, why do you suppose this over 1,000 Nigerian students are in Sudan? Studying, even studying medicine there. Well, I can't say I know for certain what the quality of education is in Sudan, but I mean, I can only go by what one reads on the internet. And what's on the internet is that these schools are not very highly ranked in the world. I mean, they're ranked about 11,000 in the world, while we have Nigerian universities that are ranked about 1,000 in the world. So even if one was ranked 1,000 and the other was ranked 11,000, that's a whole 10,000 in between them. And 10,000 is a lot. 10,000 is a lot. Yeah, it is. I thought to welcome. Still got a commercial break coming up before top of the hour at 5 o'clock. The news update comes up then, and discussions continue after that. I agree with you. I've had an experience. Was in an interview room with a guy that studied in Ghana. After all, he was taken. When I asked, I was told I did better, but he was taken because he has an international exposure. Very astonished. Oh wow! So will the university in Sudan be considered international exposure as well? I mean, it's possible that the school in Ghana is ranked higher than the school you went to in Nigeria, or even schools in Nigeria for that matter. It's quite possible, And let's do a quick check right now. University of Legon in Ghana is ranked, about 1,000 as well. I'm seeing 1,124 right now here in the world. So just about 1,000 as well. That's just about the ranking of University of Ibadan or University of Lagos. So I don't know. So similar ranking, I guess. But then again, even though it might rank just about the same as University of Ibadan or University of Lagos, it might be ranked higher than the university you went to if you did not go to UI or Unilag. Oh, his reply said he went to IMSU. Okay, I don't know what the ranking of IMSU is, but there's a strong chance it's not very close to University of Ibadan. There's a very high chance of that, I suppose. Hi, students traveling and studying in Arab countries is all about Jackma. Can you imagine? My friend in Lagos told me I Jackma to PH because of pleasure. Okay, all right, that's from Ayo. I'm sure it's because there are no Islamic university courses here in Nigerian universities. That's why Nigerians from the north will go to Sudan for studies. That's from Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I do not claim to know all the courses being offered in Nigerian universities, but I'm quite certain there are Islamic courses being offered in Nigerian universities. I'm quite certain of that. So a lack of Islamic themed or Islamic related or core Islamic studies or courses in our universities cannot be a reason, because we do have those courses on offer in Nigerian universities. Okay, by the way, it's a holiday, I do believe. Yes, it is. The federal government has declared Friday, 21st, that's today, and Monday, next week, Monday, 24th April, as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Fitr celebrations. I probably should have started with this when the show started today, but, well, better late than never. Congratulations and happy Eid al-Fitr to all Muslim brothers and sisters all over in River State, in Port Harcourt, in River State, in Nigeria, all over the world, and wish you the very best. And thanks for the holiday. I'm sure everybody, or at least almost everybody, is grateful for the holiday. Well, it doesn't affect me though, or those of us in this part of things, but I'm sure that a lot more people are enjoying it at the moment. So once again, happy Eid al-Fitr. Well, we're wrapping this up in a bit. So, commercial break comes up in a moment. Top of the hour at 5 o'clock. We've got the news update coming up. After that, discussions continue, naturally so. Speaking of which, here is the next matter of discourse. FG to remove fuel subsidy without disrupting livelihoods. That's from some official. The federal government says it is considering how best to achieve subsidy removal without disrupting livelihoods of Nigerians. And the PREMSEC Minister of Petroleum Resources, Ambassador Gabriel Duda, said this at the end of the Nigeria International Energy Summit. So, like I said earlier, it seems that most Nigerians at least agree that subsidy has to go. However, the question of how, when, the procedure, the strategy has been the contentious issue. An official of the federal government has said the FG is considering how to remove subsidy without disrupting livelihoods. You might have some ideas as to how that can be achieved. So when I return after the update at 5, I'll be asking you, how can subsidy be removed without disrupting the livelihoods of Nigerians? When I return, to stay tuned. Hard Facts will be back in a bit.
Here on Info, we give you a great